What's going on? It's the Kitty G, and I'm back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about a bunch of stories like we normally do, so let's get straight into it. AFCBeII has given us an update on what's going on around James Maddison. We've been linked to a certain Brazilian who's currently in the Olympic national team for Brazil, who plays for Lyon. We were linked to him before he even made his move to Europe. You guys know who it is, Bruno Guimaraes. That I might be butchering his name right now. ODEGAARD has once again been linked back to Arsenal on a loan move and a possible permanent deal for around £35 million. Plus, we're going to talk about Hector Bellerin. We're going to talk about Lautaro Martinez. We're going to talk about ONANA and the former Arsenal player himself, OVERMARS, who is the director there, and a little bit more. But before we get any further, guys, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. You already know what it is. Only 54% of you guys who are actually subscribed to the channel actually are watchers are actually subscribed to the channel. So smash that like button. Let's get today's video to at least 100 likes. Big up to everybody on my Twitter, everybody on all my socials. My Twitter is @TheKittyG. Big up to everybody on Facebook on Arsenal Inside Out group. Let's get the show started the right way. Bang. Sorry, I just realized that was muted. My apologies. I hope you guys can all hear me now. If you can, put a thumbs up. So yeah, big up to everybody watching. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, all of that jazz. Let's get this show started the right way. We're going to be talking about James Maddison, the most recent update for James Maddison from the man himself, AFCBeII. We got an update on ODEGAARD from Fabrizio Romano. We got a situation where we could be linked to Bruno Guimaraes, the Brazilian who's currently playing for the Olympic national team over there in is it Tokyo? I think that's where the games are going on right now, Tokyo. So yeah. So let's get the show started. Everyone can hear me. Put a thumbs up. Big up to everybody in the chat. We got Azan in the video. Azan, what's good? Azan, you there?
Yeah, good, bro. How you doing?
Good, man. I kind of messed up the intro there, but at least now people can hear me. So yeah, let's get this show started. There's a bunch of stuff that we got to talk about today. If you haven't already heard, the first story is going to be an interesting one. Cedric has apparently is set to reject offer any moves abroad. He wants to fight for his place at Arsenal. Cedric does not want to be moved on. He wants to fight for his place. He's happy to stay at Arsenal right now. And it looks like Cedric is going to reject any moves away from Arsenal at this moment. What do you think about that?
I mean, personally, like, he wasn't my on the list of outgoings for the right back spot, but like, I also heard links of him possibly going to Turkey. That there was interest in him. I think it was from Fenerbahce. But yeah, I mean, look, he's obviously not young. He's what, 29, 30. For me, out of the four that we've got, I would personally keep him, for short term. Like, he would be a backup option for me. So yeah, I mean, if we are looking to get rid of him, who else is potentially leaving? Bellerin, and then what are we going to be keeping? Chambers and Maitland-Niles for making sure that we have the homegrown quota or the English quota. I don't know.
There you go. So the exact report, Aslan, so everyone knows what it says. It says Arsenal ace Cedric Soares looks set to reject any offer move abroad as he wants to fight for his place. It's expected that Arsenal will lose a few of their fringe players this summer, but Cedric is one of those players who will probably make sense to keep around. That's what the report says, and it looks like nothing's going to happen around him at this moment. So that's the first story. So I'm okay with keeping him around. I don't think he's one of those players we're going to be yelling and screaming we should have got rid of in the summer. if anything, Hector Bellerin's the guy everyone wants to get rid of, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree for sure.
Okay, so now moving on to the next story. The next story is another player on the fringes that we need to figure out what we're going to do with, right? Another player that we have on the fringes that we're going to get, that we're going to find a way to move on is none other than Eddie Nketiah. So the situation with Eddie Nketiah is Eddie Nketiah has been supposedly barred for. Arsenal want to receive are hoping to attract at least 15 million pounds for Eddie Nketiah, right? The recent reports say that there's been teams looking after the 22-year-old striker, but Arsenal want at least 15 million if they're going to get rid of him. So do you think 15 million is too much, or like should we lower our valuation, or is that about right for Eddie Nketiah, who has played in the Premier League, who has scored some goals in the Premier League? He's not completely proven, but some of these teams lower down the table, they should be okay with Eddie Nketiah for 15 million, don't you think?
For me, I mean, if we can get 15 million, that would be amazing. I would snap your hand off for that, because last summer West Ham came in for around the 20 to 25 mil offer to get him. We refused. He has 1 year remaining on his contract. So if we can get 15 mil, I would happily take it. Do I see us getting 15 mil? Impossible. It's not going to happen.
What about you, Gunnar Express?
Yeah, I don't think he's worth 15 mil. Obviously, we just hope that we can get as much money as we can for him, but he's another player that has to be sold because he's not good enough. Again, he's shown that he's got some qualities in pre-season, but it's too late. He had enough opportunities to do what he's doing in pre-season, in first-team football, in the Premier League and in the Europa League, and well, he didn't. So it's too late now. If he's hoping that he can stay at Arsenal, it's too late. He didn't show what he had in the games that he played. So yeah, he needs to be moved on. But obviously, when it comes to the money we're going to get for him, I don't think we're going to get as much as we want. But we'll obviously have to see.
Yeah, no, I completely hear that. I just think the whole thing with Eddie Nketiah is he was supposed to be better than Chuba Akpan. That was a low bar. We set a low bar for him. He was never going to be coming into the team and being Ian Wright, as people touted him to be that similar mold to an Ian Wright. I just find it was always, we put too much pressure on some of these youngsters, but Eddie Nketiah just was never going to be that good, in my opinion. The next story, guys, is none other than Granit Xhaka. So the Granit Xhaka situation, Jose Mourinho recently commented on Granit Xhaka's Instagram post, and everyone is just saying this deal is pretty much done and dusted. At this point, we know Granit Xhaka is going to be a Roma player. It's just how much money are Arsenal going to get? Arsenal are not in a strong negotiation point at this point with Granit Xhaka and Roma. What do you guys at this point, what would be a reasonable price? Because 15 million pounds or 17 million euros is what the price was last time I checked. And now it's looking like 15 million euros and 2 million pounds add-on. So do you just take it and leave and move on, or what are we saying? Like Granit Xhaka?
Man, why are we selling him, man? Let's keep him, man. He's a leader. Did you guys not see him how he performed in the Euros?
No, are you serious? Or are you joking?
Igal, you know my thoughts on Xhaka, man.
Okay,
we have to keep him.
No, you don't want to keep him. Let's be real.
No, but look, jokes aside, yeah. Bro, honestly, we have to be prepared to take a hit, right? There hasn't been any other club that's shown interest in him apart from Roma, right?
Yeah.
The links for him and Roma have been going on for a few weeks now. Yeah, we have to accept that these past signings from the old regime, from Arsene Wenger's era, these players need to be moved on ASAP. We were led to believe before the international window opened, before the domestic window opened, that we had to sell in order to buy it. Who have we sold so far in the window? Now, to my knowledge, we've only loaned out 3 players. Yes, 2 of them are an obligation to buy come this time next year. But that's not an out-and-out sale for me, right? So we need to hurry up, fix up and get things going. Bro,
Definitely.
we haven't even made one signing incoming. It hasn't been official. Yes, the whole Ben White thing, I don't want to get into that. But look, we haven't sold a single player. So look, stop dilly and dallying over a couple of mil. We've seen how we've fallen short on bringing in potential signings because we didn't pay out the extra mil or two because we haggled for too long. We bartered for too long just so that we could get the better deal, just so we could save that mil or two. Now we're trying to stretch it out and trying to gain that extra mil or two. Come on, man. Same repeated patterns all the time. So, yeah, sell him ASAP. Get him off the books. I hope he does well in Roma. Bye-bye, Granit Xhaka.
Yeah. So big up to everybody watching on Facebook. Do me a favor. The link is in the Facebook. Join us watching the rest of the video on YouTube, guys. Appreciate you guys on Arsenal Inside Out Facebook group. Now, let's continue. Aslan, you've had your say. Now, Gunnar Express, Granit Xhaka, you're going to keep it short and sweet for me? Or are you going to go in on him? What do you think?
Well, I mean, again, I keep saying this, like Aslan said, I get that we need to be a little bit more aggressive in the window in terms of selling and buying players, obviously not spending too much and not selling for too little. But Xhaka is really not a player that we should be doing this with. He's a player that we do not want to keep at the club. He's someone that has to go. He's not good enough. He's got an awful relationship with the fans. He wants to leave. It's a player who we need to get rid of. And it's not just even that. We keep getting told we have to sell him before we can buy a new midfielder, which we can all agree is one of, if not the most important position we need to build this season. So are we really going to play around with, you know, a mere £5-7 million that could risk us not getting our main targets due to time or something else? Because today the Sassuolo, I think, president or something like that came out and said, if this deal's not done by late August, Locatelli will not leave. So we need to be quicker with moving with Locatelli, with BISSOUMA, with these types of players, because if we don't give teams time to replace them, they're not going to sell them, or they're going to sell them for stupid amounts of money. So for me, just get rid of him. Take the money that they're offering, or try and maybe get a little bit more, but nothing silly like an extra 10-15 million. But just take the money, get rid of him. He'll be happier, we'll be happier. We get a decent amount of money, and we can go and get someone that we need to go and get, whether it be Locatelli, BISSOUMA, you know, Sanchez, or whoever it is. Is anybody right now, let's be honest, that we're being linked to is better than Xhaka. So I don't really see why people are so upset that we might have to sell him for less money, because again, nobody wants him at the club. Nobody rates him like that as a player, let's be honest. So I don't really get it personally. But yeah, just you know, it's not like we're getting 5 mil. Like, we're not being, like, you know, robbed of money. Like, we're still getting a decent chunk of money, but it was like 13-15 million euros or whatever. So it's still a good enough amount of money. And again, I don't see the complaints really. Again, I agree we need to be more aggressive, but this is, and it's the same thing with Bellerin. These aren't players we need to be aggressive with because nobody wants them. No teams are, you know, teams aren't clamoring to buy them. Like Van Persie's a different story because teams wanted him, but we let him go for stupid money. So that's the issues that I have when it comes to aggressiveness. Is selling players we don't particularly want to sell for too little money. But players like Xhaka, just get rid of them for whatever's coming in.
Okay, so the next player we're going to be talking about is a possible identified replacement for Granit Xhaka. I'm not sure if you guys know much about him, but we've been linked to him today. And this report originally came out from a female journalist on Twitter. She tweeted it out, and it's really caught headways. A lot of people are talking about it. It's Bruno Guimaraes, right? So Bruno Guimaraes, we've been linked to him before he made his move to Europe, to Lyon. I'm gonna ask you guys: do you know enough about him, or should I just go through? We're gonna go through the whole synopsis about him. I'm gonna ask people in the comment section. As we continue, I need you guys to give me a thumbs up if you want him, thumbs down if you don't want him as a possible replacement for Granit Xhaka. But as of right now, I'm just gonna ask the question: thumbs up or thumbs down on Bruno Guimaraes. As you can see, it's right here. Where is it? Okay, there we go. So let's get this show started the right way. So first things first, identify who the player is, a little bit about the player, right? So let's do that. Let's find out a little bit about the player. Here's some of his stats to find out a little bit about who he is as a player and what he would offer, right? So who he is as a player, Bruno Guimaraes. 1 second, let me just Google it. So he's a Brazilian. He's a Brazilian player. He's 22 years old. He was born in São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro. He played originally for a team over there in Brazil. The team was Flamengo, and then Atlético Palmares. That's the team he played for. He played for that team since 2017 when he got loaned out from his original club, AJAX. He's played for the under-23s for Brazil. He's played for the Brazil national team. He's had a couple of international caps. He's currently playing for them over there in the Olympics in Tokyo. You can see that the gentleman is a midfielder. He's of the ilk of I would say, more of a ball-playing midfielder. Majority of the time that he's played as a part of a pivot or part of a midfield three. Majority of the time, he's either a central midfielder, less of a DM than he is a central midfielder. So you wouldn't say he's a deep line playmaker exactly, but he's more of a natural midfielder who can get up and down the box. He doesn't score as many goals. He doesn't contribute too much to goals and assists. But what he does is he keeps the ball ticking a little bit more like Granit Xhaka but not as much as a deep line playmaker as Granit Xhaka, I would say. I don't know, but let's look at his statistics and let's see how they match up to everybody else, right? So you have, first things first, you're looking at what is he elite at? He's really good at ball progression, balls into the final third, pass efficiency. You can see his recovery and successful pressures when defending. He can defend from the front. Right? What is he not good at? He's not really somebody who intercepts the ball. So that's why I'm saying he's not really a DM. He's more of a regular central midfielder. He does get into a tackle much. His turnovers are actually not that high. So we know Granit Xhaka's turnover rate is quite high. When it comes to dribble completed, he does dribble out the back. His attacking stats are quite good, right? But now let's see how he compares to a Granit Xhaka. Because we already know Granit Xhaka is the guy he's going to be compared to if he does make the move to Arsenal, right? So in comparison to Granit Xhaka, you can see Crab Stats did his stats here comparing Granit Xhaka and Guimaraes. Granit Xhaka is in the red, Guimaraes is in the blue. You can see Guimaraes does have superior stats to Granit Xhaka in many different categories. Granit Xhaka only is better than him at progressive passing. That's it. Progressive passing. That's the one stat, plus interceptions slightly. But when it comes to tackles, pressing, adding attacking value, carrying the ball, dribbling the ball, assisting, effective passing, passes into the final third, they're pretty much the same. And then you can see the big difference in turnovers. So we would be getting a much better player than Granit Xhaka. Statistically, he'd be younger. 6 years, 5 years younger, and overall just a better prospect going forward. So this would be an ideal replacement for Granit Xhaka, and this means forget about Locatelli. Locatelli thing is done. It was never reality in the first place. It looks like we've moved on from Locatelli, and we're now going to be focusing our eyes on the Lyon midfielder Bruno Guimaraes. There you go. Now I'm going to throw it over to you guys. What do you guys think about Bruno Guimaraes, and would you guys take him? From what I've told you guys. Oh, and let me just give you guys his stats from last season if you guys want to know a little bit more about his stats last season. Last season, he did not contribute too many goals or assists specifically. He was more, I think it was 3 goals, 3 assists. Let me just double check. Yeah, it was 3 goals, 1 assist all last season. He played 33 games in a central midfield role. So thoughts on him? Bruno Express, I'll let you go first.
I mean, yeah, I like him. I don't know if he's particularly, a starting player, though. That's the issue. I think obviously he's definitely better than a bench player, but I don't know if he's going to be good enough yet to just come straight in and make a difference. Obviously, he is a very good player, and I do see him being one of the best midfielders possibly in the future. But I just don't know if he's had enough experience even yet at like a team like Lyon to come into Arsenal, because he's going to have to make a big difference. This is the thing that we have to remember. yes, we do need starting players, but these players that we're bringing in also need to be difference makers. They need to come in, make a massive impact like Bruno Fernandes did at Man United. And can Guimaraes do that over somebody like a BISSOUMA or even a Locatelli? I know we ain't getting Locatelli. I think that's quite obvious, but I think someone like him, someone like BISSOUMA, someone like even Renato Sanchez would come in and make that instant impact. Whereas I don't know with Guimaraes yet if he's going to be, you know, experienced and or good enough to do that yet. So I think as a future signing in terms of somebody for the future, 100%. He's easily going to be one of the best players in the future for me, or at least the path that he's going on right now. But again, just for right now, for this next season coming up, I don't know if he's going to be particularly good enough or he's going to make that impact yet.
XHAKA's not better at XHAKA's worse at turnovers. When you have higher turnover stats, that means you're actually worse. You're not better. Anyways, continue. Good, Gunnar Express, were you done with your take on that? Because you kind of feel like he's not a good option.
No, I do. I definitely think he's a good option, and again, I definitely would take him. Like even if it's just for like a future signing. But in terms of starting like 38 games a season, because you got to remember, like we don't have Europe or anything anymore. So these players, I'm expecting the likes of Partey to start virtually every Premier League game as long as they're fit. So he's gonna want to start a lot of games, and will he make that impact? Will he be good enough defensively and going forward? You know, can he do both in a team like Arsenal with the players that we have, and still make that impact? And I don't think he's particularly proven enough yet to give me any confidence that he can. Whereas BISSOUMA, for example, I've seen enough of him at high enough levels, you know, for Lille and Brighton, to say that I do think he could come in and make that instant impact. So again, I'd just rather have BISSOUMA. That's my main point. But yeah, I wouldn't be upset with Guimaraes in any way. That's for sure.
Yeah. Bruno over Locatelli. Aslan, I seen you tweet out something when I tweeted out the Bruno Guimaraes thing. What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, just to keep it PG.
No, you don't have to worry about that.
F Locatelli, F him all day, every day. I don't care about Locatelli. He can piss off to Juventus for all I care. Look, it's clear as day, and there's information out there that's well known that Locatelli is a Juve fan. He's been a Juve fan since knee high. His family are all Juventus fans. Yeah, the guy has been twerking for Juventus for the longest. Right, we need to cut all our ties, all our interest in Locatelli, and like Gunnar Express just said, go and get BISSOUMA. Now, obviously, he hasn't been linked for the longest. Now it's this Bruno Guimaraes. For me, he looks decent. I mean, we were interested in him before he signed to Lyon. There were a lot of links. It didn't happen. For me personally, look, I understand Lyon are not in Europe next season, but I don't know. I just kind of find I don't think we can bring him in. Like, are Lyon really that desperate to sell him, to move him on? Because if they're desperate to move on if they're desperate to move in this Bruno guy, like, who are they bringing in? You know, I don't know. Like, for me, I can't believe these links. I mean, yes, it's only day one. We'll see how it's going to be reported tomorrow, or in the next week or so. But for me, look, there's one player out there, and that's BISSOUMA, because for the longest, we've been talking for a while, even on Twitter Spaces, where like we want more Premier League proven signings. But yes, we're potentially about to announce Ben White, but he's a defender, and we all know that the midfield is the key area of focus for us this summer. So yeah, for me, number one choice would also be BISSOUMA, but I wouldn't be unhappy in getting him. Like, he looks decent. He's at the right age, and he's Brazilian, so he's probably mates with Edu. So you know, will be probably a welcome addition from Edu. Yeah.
Okay, so people are asking how much will he cost? You know what? You guys don't really go on Twitter much, do you? Because let me show you guys. This is ZRAFC, one of the best guys for Arsenal transfer news and finding articles and reposting it. So what he said was, Lyon are willing to open talks with Arsenal over Guimaraes if the Gunners make an offer above £30 million. So all we know is minimum, it has to be £30 million. Doesn't mean we're going to get him for 30 million. It just means minimum we have to spend at least 30 million pounds. Also, despite the desire to keep Guimaraes, Lyon need to raise funds. Not qualifying for Champions League made them fail to earn at least 120 million euros. Therefore, they are reluctantly concentrated. Let me just. Sorry about that, guys. I'm struggling to read.
Reluctantly countenance a deal provided the price is right.
I've never heard of countenance in my life. But yeah, reluctantly countenant in a deal to provide the price is right. There you go. And this was the original source of the article. She's a Brazilian reporter. So I would tend to believe when someone has 240K followers and their job is as a journalist that they're going to be reliable. And she's also verified, so it just makes it even more reliable, in my opinion. So yeah, there you go, guys. That's where we got the news from. This is not fake news, in my opinion. If we were to rate it out of 10, out of fake news, real news, I would believe this is 70% real. What about you guys?
Yeah, so going on as I realized my mic was muted. Whoops. Yeah, go on.
No, go ahead, GRANIT, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think there's definitely some solidity, I guess you could say, to it. If we weren't linked to him, I think we were linked to him before we even went to Lyon. I think we were interested in him, but we never obviously put the money in, and Lyon did. So I think because of that, I do definitely think there's still that interest there. And what makes me happy about it is we're finally linked to a player who's actually good from South America. We've been linked to a lot of South American players over the past 1 or 2 years that aren't good enough, the likes of Willian, and obviously some of the other players as well. And we're actually getting linked to somebody who, I think as well, people forget this, he is at the Olympics right now, but so is Martinelli. So Martinelli probably got a good relationship with him. They play very similar positions, and what I mean by that is obviously he's a bit more of a going forward midfielder, and obviously Martinelli's either striker or winger, so they probably work quite well together as well. So I think it'd be a great fit again for the future. For me, it'd be a great fit because you'd have him, Martinelli, Gabriel, the 3 Brazilians who, let's be honest, all 3 of them have the potential to be in that Brazilian first team within the next 1 or 2 years. Yeah, I think in terms of percentages, I'd probably agree with you about 70-80% in terms of whether it's fake or not.
Okay, now we're gonna swiftly move on to the next topic. But before we do that, I just want to ask you guys: £35 million for Bruno Guimaraes. Would you rather spend that money elsewhere on a BISSOUMA?
Yeah, for me, 100%. Well, I mean, wasn't BISSOUMA reported like the figure around 30 mil?
There you go. Yeah.
So I mean, and if we rewind 5+ years ago, we could have gotten N'Golo Kante for cheaper than what we paid for Granit XHAKA. So look, again, they're a similar age. BISSOUMA has been in the Premier League for what, 2-3 years now at Brighton. So if we can get someone similar age but with Premier League experience for 5 mil less, it just makes sense. Go and do it. But again, we all know that Arsenal, when it comes to making sound business sense signings, they fail to do so. So again, it just comes down to, I guess, Edu's and Arteta's preference. But look, I wouldn't mind it. But for me, again, it just needs to be done as soon as possible. We've got our next friendly or pre-season match this Sunday against Chelsea. I want to see signings over the line, so at least they can come back and get some pre-season time. But actually, no, sorry, my bad. This Bruno guy, is he not at the Olympics with the Brazilian team?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Well, there you go. So then this guy is probably not going to be back in time for the start of the Premier League then.
I think as well, when you think about it, that would slow down the deal. You know, he's going to be focusing on the Olympics.
Exactly.
So the deal probably wouldn't even get done till later on. Yeah, sorry, go on, Aslan.
Okay, so BISSOUMA or Guimaraes, if it's that simple, I'm still taking BISSOUMA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's spell his name wrong.
It's a yes from me as well. But Miguel, you see earlier where you were comparing, was it the crab sheets or crab sports sheet, like that player comparison between Bruno and XHAKA? What was that turnovers in that chart? What does turnovers mean?
Turnovers is when you turn the ball over, when you lose the ball.
What? So where XHAKA was clear, like his turnovers, what? So he loses the ball more than Bruno does?
Yeah, so turnover is actually a bad thing. So turnovers is when you turn the ball over to your opponent. You give the ball to your opponent. Right.
For some reason, like you know, for a minute there, I thought it was like that, you know, meaning they're more mobile, because I was going to say XHAKA has the turning circle of a cruise of a container ship. That's how slow he is. How is he more superior to this guy who's like 5 years his younger, you know?
Oh, okay. I think it's just a misunderstanding. So the guy who did the article is American, and he was using terminology maybe not similar to what football terminology would be used. Would you guys, instead of turnovers, you'd say lost possession, or how many times you lost the ball?
Yeah. I mean, is that a term they use more often in like American sports, or?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Honestly,
yeah, I mean, back to what you said earlier. Yeah, I mean, look, it's definitely a yes from me as well. Like, BISSOUMA is the clear option. I mean, he should have been option number one from the get-go, to be honest. I don't know why we persisted and allowed our name, our club name, to be linked to someone like Locatelli for 3+ weeks. You know, like we were linked to him whilst the Euros were still on. It's been 16 days since the Euros have finished, and now all of a sudden we've lost interest, or we've given up interest in Locatelli when we've known he was interested in his move to Juve. So look, BISSOUMA, he's available. He's at Brighton already. Go and get him so he can come and get some pre-season under his belt with Arsenal. It makes sense. Go and get it done, but we'll see.
Aslan, yesterday we spoke about this. I want to get Gunnar Express's take and people in the comment section. Arsenal are looking to get Joe Willock some game time this season, but the possibility of selling him to Monaco has become an option now. Monaco are looking to either buy him, or they have contacted his agent on a possible deal. It could be either a loan or an option, or a deal where they buy or have an option to buy. Either way, it's looking like Monaco are looking at Joe Willock as an option to bring in this summer. Do you think loaning him out or selling him this summer to a team like Monaco makes any sense? Good Express.
Yeah, again, I'd sell him. I think Monaco can definitely pay more money than somebody like a Newcastle. Newcastle, I don't even think can afford him, let's be honest. You know, Mike Ashley is very skimpy with his money. Newcastle fans will tell you this. So I think the only way they can get him is if they highly underpay for him. And when I was talking earlier about aggression, for me, Willock's someone we have to be aggressive with. You know, he's had a great, 6-month period, whatever, at Newcastle. So in terms of demanding money, we should be saying, we want 30+ million. I think Monaco are a team that can afford that type of money. They might even possibly offer a swap deal somewhere in there. I don't know who we'd get, but I'm sure they've got a few decent players that we'd be tempted by. And yeah, I think Monaco, I don't think they'd go for a loan straight away. I genuinely do think they'd be willing to pay the money. I'd be willing to sell to them. I think Monaco are a decent team in terms of negotiations. You know, we saw how much money they sold the likes of Mbappe and that for. Some people would even argue that certain players like, you know, Silva and some of the others were actually, you know, they were underpaid for. So I think negotiating with Monaco would be a good idea. I think getting rid of Willock, again, my opinions have been from the beginning to sell Willock. I think right now he's going through a purple patch, and I don't think he'll ever replicate this in his career, unfortunately. So for me, it's the best place to sell him. Yeah, we can loan him out, but my issue is if we loan him out, he doesn't do well, we then get him back, we sell him for 10, 15 mil when we could be getting 30 right now. So yeah, I'm going to stick to that opinion. I'm not really bothered who it is at this point, as long as they're willing to pay the money. And again, it'd be upwards of 30 million. So for me, I'm not really fussed what team it is, but Monaco will be a decent team to sell to. And I think he'd go there. You know, I think it's a good team for him to develop his career as well.
I'm happy to send him on loan, or I'm even happy to sell him, but I want clarity as a fan on what is going on with the player's future, and the player himself probably wants clarity. So if we don't know what the hell they're doing, imagine what he's going through. This is actually ridiculous. I feel like we should either send him on loan to a team in the Premier League where he can get experience and help us as a team going forward. But if we're gonna get him, if he's gonna go to Monaco, you might as well just sell him to Monaco, because sending him out to the French league after him playing the way he played in the Premier League is not going to benefit us. And I'm not sure, is Monaco even in Europe next season? So
yeah, they finished third, I think, this season. So they've got Champions League.
So he's going to be in the Europa League. I don't really think
Champions League. I think I could be wrong though.
No. Only 2 teams from the French league get Europa League, or get Champions League, I think. Am I wrong? Anyways, long story short, if he's not in the Champions League, I don't think Monaco is the move where he develops his career. I'd rather he go back to Newcastle, where he's in the Premier League, where he's at arm's length. We can see him develop and progress. That, to me, makes more sense.
Monaco finished third, which is Champions League qualifiers. So they'll be going through that right now. And they probably will, you know, I'm presuming they go through. I think they're good enough to qualify for the Champions League. But either way, they're in Europa League or Champions League. So yeah, they'll be in Europe.
Yeah, Azan, we already know your take on this. Do you want to let the people know who haven't already heard it? Hello, you there?
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, look, with Joel Willock, I want to keep him. He should be the last person to be sold. However, I'm open with the idea of sending him out on loan, but my preference would be for him to stay in the Premier League, for him to be sent out to a Premier League team, because I see a future with him. But like, what's happened with him potentially going to Newcastle, like on another loan? Like, what's happened with those talks? Have they just died down?
Newcastle's still confident that they're going to get Joe Willock. Nothing's changed from their perspective. It's just the fact that they've come out of nowhere now and they've said what they've said. It could change things with Monaco.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, even if the sending them back to Newcastle doesn't work out, again, it has to be a Premier League team, because if he is going to be in the future plans, I just think that's more suited for him. And then in doing so, he can come back this time next year and then actually, well, I mean, depending on how he obviously does in his loan spell, he can come back and actually fight for his spot in the team this time next year. But personally, if it was up to me, I would keep him. And yeah, just you know, rotate. Obviously, he's not going to get the same amount of game time that he got in Newcastle in the last seasons, the second half of the season last season. But I just feel that, you know, he went on loan, he got game time, and he added goals. And we all know we have a major issue from our midfield not contributing into goals. So you know, if we compare what Joe Willock did for Newcastle in terms of adding goals from midfield, and compare what Smith Rowe done for us in the second half of last, he didn't contribute to a lot of goals. and he's an attacking midfielder or a midfielder in general as well. You know, so yeah, you know, that just makes it clear for me. But yeah, you know, me and Gunnar Express, we agree on a lot of things, but I've got to disagree with him on this case. So
okay, Overmars chief, the chief of staff over there. Why did I say that? My guy Overmars, Arsenal, former Arsenal player, legend, got transferred to Barcelona. Still one of the record transfer fees at Arsenal. What happened here is he was speaking and he said, I haven't heard from Arsenal. He said, Overmars said that there has been no contact from Arsenal to or Lyon in regards to Andre Onana. So they're basically saying there's been no contact from Arsenal or Lyon. Now, he didn't say anything about Inter because supposedly his deal to Inter was finished, remember? But still nothing about Inter. So the whole thing about Onana being transferred to Arsenal, Arsenal have not spoken to Arsenal have not spoken to Ajax in regards to anything around Onana. This is the most recent update in regards to everything around Onana. Just goes to show you we haven't actually progressed with anything in regards to this deal. This deal has strictly been paper talk up until this point. Everything revolving around his court case and everything else was completely blown out of proportion, and there's no truth or reality to the situation where Arsenal are seriously in for Onana. If we were in for him, he's there for the taking. He cost less than what Tavares cost. He would be cheap for us to be able to get. He would not play a single minute, so Lennon would still be the #1 going into this season. Everything is there for us if we wanted it, but clearly this deal was never serious. We never really were in for Onana. We were never really interested in Onana as a #1 target. And it just goes to show you why we're moving so swiftly for all these other goalkeeping options. While Onana's there, nobody seems to be, no one from Arsenal have contacted Ajax. No one have contacted Overmars. And Overmars, this is the first time hearing about it when it comes to links between Onana and Arsenal. So there you go. It just goes to show you this whole transfer debacle has been made for no reason. Arsenal were never seriously in for Onana. Arsenal have not contacted Ajax about Onana. They've not contacted them about the availability of the player or the price of the player. Everything has just been media speculation. It's sad to hear, but that's the reality. What do you think, Aslan and Gunnar Express, about this? Once again, the media drumming up stuff, making us feel like we had a chance to get this player when we never were really even in for him.
Well, I mean, if we weren't really in for him, then why have we allowed the links to go on for so long? Why haven't we identified a goalkeeper and actually went and bought him? Like, this is why I say I don't see any changes. I see the same repeated patterns in terms of how we move and how we don't move, and we allow the British media, the British sports journalists, to make up fake rumors out of thin air. Why do we allow these publications to drag our name through the mud like this? I don't get it. Like people are telling me, oh, new additions have come in at boardroom level, at director level, when it comes to contract negotiations. Well, go and identify the players for whatever positions we need. Go and get them done. Go and get them done, and then we won't allow these publications, these British journalists, who's ever creating these fake stories, to take the piss out of our club. What's going on, man?
Bro,
I'm seeing the same repeated patterns. Nothing is changing. Nothing. Bro, it's July the 29th. We're playing Chelsea on Sunday. And then a few days after that, we're playing Tottenham, our final 2 pre-season games. We haven't got one first 11 signing over the line in order for them to get pre-season minutes under their belt, in order for them to come and build chemistry, partnerships, relationships with their fellow teammates. What is happening, man?
Listen,
And people are saying, "Oh, give these lot a chance." Miss me with that, man. Go and talk to chat to your wall.
yeah. So
You have a
Overmars
better
is
conversation with your wall than you will with me.
Overmars might be
Always
doing
similar.
damage control because supposedly the deal to Leon is pretty much done and dusted. Leon are going to get the player for around 5 million euros, but Ajax want 10 million euros. That's what Fabrizio Romano reported on the 21st of July. So they might have reported these things, but Overmars came out and said this is not true. One, we can believe Overmars and be like, you know what? There's no truth to it. Why would he lie? Or we could say he's doing damage control. But when it comes to Arsenal, we know for a fact Arsenal have not contacted them because he said Arsenal have not contacted them. Arsenal have had interest, but interest doesn't mean you've contacted or inquired about a price. Nowhere does it say Arsenal have actually inquired about the price for Overmars. So that's
Or
where
is he coming out and saying that as well, Igal, because they're holding out for the 10 million euros. Look, just in that tweet alone, it says that Leon offered 5 mil. Maybe we've done the same as well. So,
Arsenal have not
so they're
offered
playing
anything.
hardball, bro. They want
Arsenal
the 10 mil.
Arsenal have not made a formal offer or bid for Onana. I can tell you that for a fact.
Well, okay, going on what Overmars just has come out and said, but maybe he's playing the transfer game as well. Maybe he's trying to put pressure on Arsenal to say, like, look, you guys can't take the piss with us and offer us 5 mil. If you really want him, give us the 10. He's yours.
You want to know something? Arsenal made a 26 million pound bid for Ramsdale, but we've not made one bid for Onana.
Igal, with respect, bro, we can offer 5 mil to whoever. We can offer 100 mil to whoever. For me, as soon as we're linked to a player, bro, I want that signing done within a week. Yeah? This is how all the other big clubs move. Unfortunately, we don't do the same. This is the issue, bro. We were linked to Locatelli for 3+ weeks, bro. And now all of a sudden we've lost interest and now we've got links to this Bruno youth. Yeah? Bro, if we were a serious club, if we were to be proactive rather than reactive, these links that we've been linked to, all these players, yeah, these signings would have been done. They would have been done, bro. But unfortunately, this club is dilly-dallying again, penny pinching again, and they think they can outflex and strong-arm people, other clubs, when it comes to the dead wood and the shit that we've got within our squad right now. Come on, man. These men need to accept the fact they need to take a hit this summer, bruv. We can't be penny pinching over getting the extra couple of mil for Granit Xhaka. Just sell his blood clot to Roma, man.
At this point, Azan, you're gonna have people complaining that we don't get enough money for players, and then at the same time, when we are trying to get the same money for Granit Xhaka, you're gonna have people saying, "Why don't we just sell him?" So either way, the club is in a situation where they're trying to do what's best for themselves. Obviously, we don't agree all the time when it comes to what the club's doing, but Onana deal, this was a farce. It never actually was. This was the media playing it up, and we got sucked into it. Once again, we were never really in for the player. That's why we're upset. We wasted our time as fans investing time into a player that we were actually never seriously even in for. That's what.
Okay, so why aren't we going getting Ramsdale, bro?
Ramsdale, they want 40 million, 35 million.
How long have we been linked to him? Like, how long's it been? Couple of weeks now?
We've been linked to Ramsdale since he became part of the England team.
So since he joined the Euros?
Yeah.
That tournament went on for like 3+ weeks, nearly a month. It's been over 2 weeks since the tournament's finished.
Yep.
So for nearly 6 weeks, we've been linked to him, yet we haven't signed him.
Yep.
All because we couldn't loan out Runnison. And bro, I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Us being linked to Ramsdale is that goalkeeping coach doing. It's on his recommendation. Is that true? That Iñaki guy.
I seen something like that. Gunner Express, did you see something
I
about
saw that on the timeline today.
No, I haven't seen anything, but it wouldn't shock me.
So
Inyaki's
surprising.
useless.
Are we
He's
really
useless.
taking advice from the goalkeeping coach again?
Yep, because Arteta's useless.
Where would he have worked with him? Did he work at Sheffield United or Bournemouth?
He hasn't worked anywhere with him. I think the only other places that Iñaki worked was, I think he's done some stuff with the Iceland national team and then a bunch of stuff in Spain. So this is what I'm saying. This Iñaki guy, Leno put a formal complaint to Arteta saying that he doesn't like him and he doesn't want him as head coach anymore. And he wanted Woodman to be the main coach. So Arsenal then decided to get rid of Woodman and keep Iñaki in his role. And then at the same time, he recommended Runarsson. We got him. He's rubbish. He's still where he is. And now he wants Ramsdale as well. This guy's rubbish, man. This Iñaki guy has no idea what he's doing. Yeah, and the worst thing is he's still in his position. He's still being treated like he actually knows what he's doing. Like we're going nowhere, man.
Okay, we're gonna move on from this, but before we do that, Jonathan, what were you gonna say?
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Question. I want to particularly speak on the BISSOUMA situation, even the ONANA. Do you believe that the AFCON in January is some of the main reason or points that Arsenal trying not to pursue these players? Because, to be honest, I do not see any other clubs trying to pursue players that they're not going to use, like in the main part of the season. Remember, in January, from December to January or probably early February, we have a lot of games, right? And not having your spine. Let's say a BISSOUMA party, a ONANA, we have Aubameyang and Pepe. I mean, that's basically your whole spine. So why would you try to sign players that when you need them, they're not going to be there? And I understand maybe for future references, maybe the AFCON is not going to play next year, but I mean, looking at it on the Arteta point of view, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make the top 4 this year. So if I don't make the top 4 this year, maybe my job is on the line for next year. So I believe that is the reason Arsenal is not trying to pursue BISSOUMA. And I would like to hear from the other guys, what do they think about that?
Yo, 1 second. Jules Koundé deals off? What the hell's going on? Bro, Jonathan, we're going to get to that in a second. So you said you think because of AFCON, we're not actually seriously considering any more African players.
I mean, I certainly believe that, because I believe on the Arteta point of view, he believed that he want to make the top 4 this year. And if he's going to sign players that when he actually need them, they're not going to be there, it could maybe be his job bye-bye. Not saying that he would not saying that Arteta would keep his job by maybe December or so, but hopefully the signings that we're making is going to be good enough. But I believe that is the main reason we're not trying to pursue the BISSOUMA and the goalkeeper ONANA.
Okay. Respectfully, bro, I need to keep the conversation moving. So I'm just going to go on to the next topic. I'm going to be quite quick with this next topic. So I got this guy, Matthew, here. He does a lot of threads on Twitter. I'm not sure if you've seen it, Aslan Gunnar Express, but he does a lot of breakdowns after the game. So guys, I would highly suggest you go follow him on Twitter. He does these threads breaking down the game. They're very in detailed. And I just wanted to show you one of these threads. So after the game yesterday versus Watford, he picked out some of these things. First of all, if you guys didn't see how we played yesterday, we set up in a formation where Aubameyang was a striker, Eddie Nketiah was on the left wing, Willian was in the 10, Nelson was on the right side, Elneny Lokonga, Tavares, Mari, Cedric as right back, Chambers as a center back, with Leno as the goalkeeper, right? The way we're building out the back, as you could see, when we build up out the back, we play more like this, where you had Tavares almost as a left winger, and you had Cedric tucking in as part of the back 3. And this was how we played when we were in attack, right? This is important to see, because this kind of tells us how we're going to be playing next season and what we'd be expecting from our players. Kieran Tierney would most likely be in that role. You'd have you'd have you'd have Ben White and Gabriel in these roles. And then you'd have Partey and somebody else in these roles. Where on the right side, we'd be expecting Pepe or Saka to be more wide. This is the kind of setup that we might be playing next season. Also, you can see in possession, when we have the ball in possession, we kind of similarly do a similar thing where we have the right back float from midfield and defense, right? And as you can see in this image here, where Cedric is, what position Cedric is picking up, right? Now, let me just get this Jules Koundé thing off the screen. Okay, you guys can see everything clearly, right? So now, what we want to point out here is, as you can see, when he moves out, when you have Willian out wide, you're gonna try to have your guys linking up play. So you're gonna have your number 10 going out wide, linking up play, and help connecting with each side. And that's another part of the tactic that we're gonna probably see. We're gonna see the wide right and the 10 switch a lot throughout the season. Also, we're gonna need a lot of crossing coming in from each wing. We're gonna see Callum Chambers. We're going to see Cedric. We're going to see Tavares. We're going to see these guys crossing in a lot of balls this upcoming season because they're creating a lot of overlaps. Also, right now, going into this, I think Rohan did this tweet. He was talking about how we press. We're going to need to be more forward thinking in the way we press, having Aubameyang, Saka, pressing the center backs, trying to make mistakes early and higher up the pitch. As you can see in this game, we did not have them pressing. So that could be one of our tactics early in the game, not actually pressing, and later on into the game, pressing to create situations where we can win the ball higher up the pitch. Right now, then moving into the defensive, the attacking setup. We've been playing with a low block 4-4-2 over the preseason. This could be the way we play in defense for the remainder of the season, because we are going to play a back four. You're going to see us playing with a back four. That could mean we're going to play with a low block 4-4-2. Instead of having all our men behind the ball the way we did last time, kind of unorganized, we're going to have a system where we're going to have the number 10 and the striker pressing the top, with the wide players helping out on both the left back and the right back position, and the midfield two being tight and compact to help us defend. Right now, Eddie Nketiah's goal was a beaut. I don't really want to get too much into that, but I would highly suggest you guys go check out Matthew's Twitter account. He always does these throughout the season, right? So go check him out. And if you're a rival fan, he also has the scouting hub where they do more stuff like that, where they break down threads of other teams also, right? So I would highly go check that out, guys. Now, going back to Bruno Express is back. That was pretty good breakdown of the game, guys. And he'll be doing that for the remainder of the season. So whenever I see one of those threads, I'll be introducing them to you guys, so you guys can go check that out from there too, or I'll break it down for you guys. Jules Koundé will be a Chelsea player. Who knows? Who knows? Next story. What do you guys think about that? The defensive setup and everything around the team. Pretty good, right? The way he broke it down there. You guys there?
Look, big up Matthew. Appreciate the time and effort that you put into that thread. Everybody, go and check it out. I'll also go and check it out. But right now, bro, honestly, I don't care.
What's wrong, bro?
Bro, I want to see flipping signings, bro. That's what's wrong. I want to see signings. I don't give.
Wait, what was the thread?
I don't give two shits about formations, about tactics, about philosophy. None of this bollocks. It's the transfer window. It's July the 29th. Why, bro? Why isn't the Ben White being announced? I was looking forward to Ben White being announced. Yeah. Why hasn't that happened? Bro, he supposedly touched down over the weekend, and we were led to believe that he was going to be announced come Wednesday.
Azan, he was at London Colney yesterday.
He was at London Colney yesterday, so it's imminent.
No, but I agree with
Okay, it's imminent. It's imminent.
Everything should be ready by now. Like, where is it?
Throughout this pre-season, since the players have returned, does anyone know that if these players train on a Saturday?
I don't think they do.
Okay, so going on that, It's Thursday evening. What? So he's going to be announced tomorrow. He's probably going to get some training tomorrow. But then are we going to see him play or start against Chelsea? Our
Ben
first
White is
signing,
gonna start
that's supposedly our first 11 signing. Our 50 mil, 55 mil player that we've invested for our first team. Do we expect to see him against Chelsea at home?
Let me find out more, because I think Ben White is done. The deal is finalized. The transfer is finalized. It will be done within the next. It will be done before the weekend's done.
Bro, I swear, if I hear that we have bought him, but he hasn't had enough training time in order to feature against Chelsea, watch then. Watch then.
Aslan, this is the report, right? So he's undergone his medical. His medical has been completed. Everything around the medical has been done. Arsenal transfer for Ben White undergoing second medical ahead of the £50 million transfer. I don't know why they're doing two medicals, but the first one's been done. The second one's being done. It looks like they did photos yesterday. So everything is pretty much done and dusted. We play on Sunday. He'll be signed by Friday. We should see him feature either against Chelsea or Tottenham. Because Tavares didn't feature, remember, immediately after signing. Lokonga didn't feature immediately after signing. So we will see them sooner than later. There's no need to get mad.
Bro, when we signed a key player for our starting 11 last summer in Thomas Partey, when we knew what his release clause was before the season ended last season, and then it went all the way down to the final day of deadline day, yeah? And then when he featured throughout this season, the 2-3 injuries that he got, people were saying, oh, that was because that was down to him not getting a pre-season, yeah? In the 7-8 years that he was at Atletico Madrid, this guy was hardly injured. But welcome to Arsenal. Suddenly he gets injured three times in one season. All because he didn't get a pre-season last year. And we're doing the same thing this year, bro. So is this guy going to be ready for opening day against Brentford away? What's the excuse is going to be then? Because he didn't get enough pre-season. Now Arteta's going to be slowly bedding him in. Is that going to be the excuse now? What about all the 3-4 other signings that we need to come into the first 11? When are they going to feature? Bunch of bollocks, man. The structure of this club is fucked, bro. It's fucked.
Bro, honestly, I don't get the frustration on the Ben White thing as much as you're frustrated. I get why you're angry, but I don't get why we'd be angry about a signing not being officially completed. Let it. Whenever it's completed, it's completed. He's already started training probably behind closed doors. We just don't know this. Same thing with Lokonga. They signed him. He already started training.
It's not just Ben White, bro. Yeah. This is going to be our first announcement of our first 11 signing. We need 4 more. We need 4 more signings. Bro, it's July the 29th, bro.
We need a lot.
In 14 days, we play away against Brentford. In 14 days' time. How, bro, I am not confident one bit. Yeah? This is going to be another season that's sacrificed. People are saying, "Oh, we ain't got no Europe. Yeah, we're gonna make a charge for that top 4." Really? Look what happened in January. We offloaded all those players. We sent out our backup left back, but we failed to bring in one.
Yeah. What about when people say we've got a month left? What about when people say we've got a month left?
A month left in what? What, for the transfer window? What, this summer window?
Yeah.
Bro, when the January window closed, we were hearing whispers that Arteta, Edu, Vinay, all of these, man, were going to do all of their groundwork, all of their homework, all of their planning and prep in for this summer window. It shows, innit? The proof is in the pudding, innit? Yeah?
Okay.
We've done all our prep work and homework. My fucking ass, have we?
Aslan, I'm just gonna move it on now to the James Maddison story, right? And if I could get everybody to mute themselves, please, just so I'm gonna go to AFC Bell's reporting, and I'm gonna have AFC Bell's report read out to everybody, anyone who has not officially read the actual report. This is what it said, okay? So here we go.
An Arsenal-appointed broker has begun to test the heart of Leicester City in a round of back-channel talks about a possible deal to sign James Maddison. The feeling in the club camp is that Maddison is not an untouchable or unsaleable player, but rather a window of hope if the price is right. Arsenal have made their own investigations regarding the player's injury history and records and the suitability of signing him under these circumstances, and still have a serious interest in Maddison, but it is understood that the two clubs are far from being evaluated at the moment. It is understood that one of the reasons for the valuation gap between the two clubs is that Norwich City included a clause in the sale of Maddison to Leicester City that would entitle them to a percentage of the profits of any future sale. Sources close to Norwich did not disclose the exact figure, but claim that the percentage due is between 10% and 15%. Arsenal is open to negotiating with Leicester City and reaching a compromise regarding the price of the deal to suit all parties. But if Leicester insist on an astronomical amount, the club will turn to other options on its list. As we mentioned in January, ODEGAARD could be a welcome alternative if Plan A doesn't work. Senior sources and very close to the negotiating table confirm that the decisive factor in the James Maddison deal is not Arsenal's ability to provide the value of the deal, but the essence of the matter is that the club wants to do more work in this window and will not overspend madly on one deal, and there are other centres that it wants to support. The end is still not written in the James Maddison deal, and it is not dead, but at the same time it is not close or decided. The club is working behind the scenes silently. Let's see what the club can achieve in the coming weeks, and let's pray for the good news. Credit, AFC Bell. See less.
There you go. So that is what AFC Bell said. AFC Bell, as you can clearly say, in short, the deal is not nowhere near done, but Arsenal still want to focus on getting other deals done. There's still a lot of stuff that Arsenal are trying to do this window, and they don't want to focus so much on James Maddison that they miss out on other targets. Now, in my opinion, if the last thing frustrated you, Azan, this is going to frustrate you even more, because they're clearly stating that they don't want to focus too much on one deal because they have so many deals to get done. So who's the alternative? Guess who it is? None other than Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard is the alternative to James Maddison, and it looks like what Martin Odegaard wants is another loan. He does not want to be purchased. Martin Odegaard himself does not want Arsenal to buy him this summer. He wants to go out on another loan. He still has hopes to play for Real Madrid as a senior first-team player. But Arsenal Football Club have been told by Real Madrid that they will only entertain a £35 million transfer fee. So this is a transfer saga that has gone too far. We have Martin Odegaard, who's available for 35 million, who Arsenal are interested in, but Martin Odegaard does not want to join Arsenal on a permanent transfer. He still has dreams and aspirations to play for Real Madrid. Then you have James Maddison, who Leicester do not want to sell, but if they do sell, they will only sell for an astronomical fee, which Arsenal are not willing to pay unless it means they have enough money allocated elsewhere for the other signings that they need to get done. And all of this cannot happen until we get rid of the likes of Granit Xhaka, the likes of Hector Bellerin, and some of these other guys off our books for at least this season, either on loan or on full transfers. So these deals are not going to be done anytime soon. But the deal for James Maddison is not yet dead. The deal for Martin Odegaard is not yet dead. That is still possible also. An alternative could come out of nowhere, but at the moment, it looks like the plan A is James Maddison, plan B is Martin Odegaard, and this is just giving me a headache, honestly. But yeah, that's the update on that, guys. What do you think? Everyone in the chat, let me know what you think also.
No wonder he wants to leave Leicester, bro. Look at his dead taper fade, bro. No wonder he wants to leave Leicester.
No, I think that grew back.
No, but bro, listen. What are we? Silent FC. What are we? Incognito FC. We're concentrating on other signings. Where are these other signings? What is this Bell guy talking about, bro?
AFC Bell is saying, okay, did you miss the part where he said the other signings? Do you want me to repeat that?
Bro, you said, he said, we're concentrating on other signings and that, you know, this signing is not easy and it could take time. Okay, cool. Fair enough. But where are these other signings that we're concentrating on?
No, Aslan, the matter of the club does not want to overspend on one deal because there are other certain there's other things that they need to focus on also this summer because they're trying to get a lot of deals done.
Hey, that's what I'm trying to say, bro. So, like, where are these other deals? They're not done.
They're working.
Where are they? Bro, we're being linked. Bro, we're being linked to players left, right, and center. Why are they not getting over the line? This is what I'm trying to get through to people's heads, bro. Bro. As soon as Man United were linked to Sancho and Varane, within a space of a week, done. Yeah. We've been linked to Ben White for God knows how long, and it's July the 29th, and we still haven't made it official. Bro, you can say to me all you like. Anyone can say to me all they like that Ben White, the Ben White signing is done. Yeah? Well, it's not on Arsenal.com, my friend. As soon as it's on that website, then I will believe it.
Okay.
That's how I am. That's how I think. But okay, and I'll give you Ben White. But where's all the other players that we need?
Azan, we've been linked to a striker. We've been linked to a center. We've been linked to a right back. We've been linked to right backs. We've been linked to goalkeepers. We've been linked to so many positions. It's not just one. This is part of the situation. I get it. You're frustrated because we haven't been linked to every single player and we haven't finished it. But hey, at this point, I don't think they're going to tell us and they're going to play their cards right and they're going to hide it behind their oh man, it's just frustrating. I get it, but they're not going to tell you everything. They're going to keep some secrets.
Yeah, because we're fucking incognito FC. We're silent FC. Yeah, we're camouflage FC. That's why.
Yeah. Azan, at the end of the day, we're giving reports by people who don't know nothing. Junior Express, what were you going to say? Yo, Gunnar Express, you want to add on or you're good? Jonathan, you have anything to add?
Yeah, bro. I believe everything that Aslan just said because, all right, look at this, Igal. For me, if you cannot sign a MADDISON right away, why do not Arsenal sign players that is easier achievable? Like, for instance, if you won a war from last year, right? I'm pretty sure 30 million is something easier to get. So why don't you go ahead and sign that player? Why are you trying to stress out yourself and trying to sign a MADDISON, which you know that Leicester is a club that are to deal with? And this is the frustration with Arsenal fan. And I understand everything that Aslan's saying because there's deal out there that can be done. So why don't try and do the easier deals that can get done, that the players can come in the squad from earlier. So I think this is the massive problem. I mean, I understand the big money signings. You know, you can left that to a later date. But what about the one that you can complete to come into the squad for us to, you know, get a better aware of what the squad actually needs? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of right backs out there that is reasonable that we can actually sign. So why isn't that? I mean, I guess we haven't sold any right back yet, so I understand the right back situation, but we realize that the center midfield is a big problem. So why isn't there a huge concern in I mean, we haven't really signed a center midfielder that we can say he's going to walk straight into the starting level. And that is my big problem because there's so much center midfielder out there that we can sign. And then you left the James Maddison deal and the big money signing to last because that is going to be the hardest one. So I agree everything that Aslan said.
Gunnar Express, do you have anything to add, or you want to just move on to the next topic, and I'll give you the floor for that one.
Yeah, just move on then.
All right. Okay, the next one's interesting. So now, yesterday we spoke. I didn't bring you guys on. So apparently, Lautaro Martinez to Arsenal is Arsenal are interested in Lautaro Martinez. Inter Milan are not interested in selling Lautaro Martinez, but they are interested in Hector Bellerin. Arsenal are looking to offer cash plus Hector Bellerin in a swap deal for Lautaro Martinez. Now, this is actually not fake news. I'll tell you why. The report says Lautaro Martinez is a target of Arsenal's, which is true. It also says Inter Milan are Hector Bellerin is a target for Inter Milan, and suggests that they do a possible swap deal. It is not actually the clubs are looking to do this. So would you consider that fake, or would you consider that real?
I still don't think we're going to get him. I mean, the rumours can be real all they want, but even with Bellerin, you're still going to be spending upwards of 70 million on him, because he's seen as a very good player and someone who's going to be, you know, a highly potential, possibly one of the best strikers in the world type player eventually. So I don't see us getting him at all. I think he's going to want, you know, Champions League or at least Europa League football, which is something we can't offer. So I just think we should dead the signing before, like, dead it before it even gets anywhere, because fans, again, they're going to get excited. They're all going to think that it's actually going to happen and that we somehow have a chance of it happening. And we really don't.
No, it's just
so
too many options.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we've all been saying how we don't need a striker. We don't need one. We don't need Abraham, this and that. The minute we get linked to Lautaro Martinez, everybody wants a striker. So it's possibly that the club are doing this on purpose to get us in the mood to get a striker, so that when we sign someone like Abraham, we actually get let down. But I don't know. I don't see us getting him at all. I don't think he's gonna. I just don't think the hardest thing is persuading him to come to Arsenal. I think that's the most difficult thing of all. So yeah, I don't think we can offer him what he wants, which is going to be Champions League football. So no, I don't think we're going to get him. If we do, I'll be massively surprised, but I'm not going to get my hopes up.
Okay, so anyone who wants to know who the source is, the original source, I seen it on the Express, but the Express original source was Peter O'Rourke. And if you guys know Peter O'Rourke, he's the guy who goes on the Football Terrace, and he also is a journalist, big journalist on, what is it, the Football Insider? Where does he work for? Peter O'Rourke. He works for the, honestly, it doesn't even say on his bio where he works. Let me go on his LinkedIn. Yeah, I can't even find it. Do you guys know where Peter O'Rourke works? He's a freelance journalist. He works for plenty of different companies. So he was the original source of this rumor. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Bro.
Yeah, you guys can hear me, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's Peter O'Rourke is the original source. No chance of this happening. I get it that there's no chance. Azan, you've already spoken on a lot of things. Do you want to talk on this topic quickly? Just say your piece on if you think it's real or fake, or if you think there's any chance of us getting Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah, it's fake news, man. Move on.
Okay. Moving on to the final couple of last topics. What's the last couple of topics? Martin Odegaard, 35 million. Is that a steal, or to me, I feel like we should bully Real Madrid. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like we should go to Real Madrid and be like, I know you guys don't want the player. We want the you don't want to sell. You need money. Give him to us on a loan fee again, and you can put an option to buy or obligation, whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, we should go to Real Madrid and we should be like, 35 million. We're not paying a penny. We know you need the money. Give him to us for free, and we'll pay his wages for the year, and then we test him out another year, and then we choose if we want to buy him then. Or at that point, Real Madrid will see him play for Arsenal for another year, and they'll choose if they want to keep him or not. Thoughts?
I don't want to.
You don't want to?
For me, I don't want to loan any players in. I think it's a pathetic way of moving into the next season. I think we loaned players last season. Obviously, they didn't help us. We got players in for free and on cheap deals that we thought would work, and they didn't. And a lot of it's about testing. It's about hoping that these players are going to work, testing out to see if they're going to be good or not. We can't do this season. We're not in Europe. We need to get back in Europe this season. If we don't, we're not a big club at the moment. We know that already. But if we're not in Europe for another season, we're not going to have that pull. That pull that Arsenal apparently have is not going to be there anymore. So yeah, we need to be in Europe. So I don't want to test out players. I don't want to bring players in on loan like Abraham and ODEGAARD and hope that they work when ODEGAARD didn't work. We've seen that he didn't work before. He didn't help us enough. So I don't want to take the risks. I really don't. I think we need to buy players that obviously you can't guarantee success, but players that are going to offer more. And again, whichever attacking midfielder we bring in is going to have a similar impact to the way that De Bruyne impacted City and the way that Mason Mount impacts Chelsea, and same thing for Fernandes at United. Is ODEGAARD going to do that? Is he going to create upwards of 80 chances a season, get a lot of goals, get a decent amount of assists as well? No, he's not. We've seen that again. At Arsenal, he wasn't good enough at all. Even at Sociedad, his stats in terms of those three things weren't good enough either. So for me, I don't get why fans want him. I don't get the ODEGAARD hype. Like, what is it? Because he used to be like a big FIFA legend, or like because 6 years ago when he was 16, he was seen as the next Messi. Like, I don't get the hype. I don't get where this he has potential thing comes from. The guy's barely played over the last 3 years, so I don't get the hype of ODEGAARD at all. No, I don't want him. I don't want him for anything.
Okay, I'm just going to read the report quickly. So the report says Carlos Ancelotti has made it clear ODEGAARD that if he stays, he will be a rotational player. He cannot guarantee that he will start because Real Madrid, there's a lot of competition for places. Real Madrid would ask for around 35 million to sell Martin ODEGAARD. So the report itself is very hit or miss with its wording. All it says is the price. It doesn't say Arsenal are going to be spending that type of money on Martin ODEGAARD. It doesn't say anything like that. Immediately after this report came out from what was it, the Madrid Zone account, it went immediately. People just started saying 35 million Martin ODEGAARD to Arsenal, yes or no? And I was like, no, that's my opinion. 35 million. I'd rather not spend that type of money on Martin ODEGAARD. I'd rather put money on top and get the better player in James Maddison. And I agree with you, Gunnar Express. But the only way I would take him is if he's on loan. What about you, Jonathan?
For me, all right, look at it this way. For me, if Martin ODEGAARD believe in himself and he think he's good enough, he would not want a loan. He would want to fight for a spot at Real Madrid, because at Real Madrid, most of the midfield is old. And if you cannot get ahead of those old players, why should Arsenal take a player that don't see themselves getting ahead of players at Real Madrid? I mean, we understand that the Modric and the Toni Kroos is big name players, but they are old players. So if he's good enough, I think he should stay at Real Madrid and fight for his spot, because he's saying that if he's going to Arsenal, he only want to be loaned to Arsenal. No, look at it. Which other club in the EPL, the top 6 club, whatever, is purchasing players to improve their club and taking them on loan? It's only Arsenal hearing these stuff from. So why should we take him? Why should we take players that we want to improve us, but we're taking them on loan? And this is my problem. I do not want him on loan. And if we're going to spend 35 million on him, for me, I'd rather go for MADDISON, a person that already used to the league for years. I mean, for me, I think I said this to one of the YouTubers. I text this message. I asked, do you think ODEGAARD overshone? No, not. I asked if ODEGAARD proved that he's a better player than Emil Smith Rowe when he come in.
He didn't.
And what do you think about that?
He did not. Smith Rowe is a better player than ODEGAARD right now. Facts.
And for me, if he did not prove that he is much better than Smith Rowe, why should we buy a player like that? And he already come into the club and...
You know what? Gunnar Express said that before on other streams. I agree with that.
Yeah, so that's my... I would not want him as a loan player, because if he do not have the ambition to fight for a spot at Real Madrid, why would he want to come to Arsenal and alone? So that's my point.
I hear that. I hear that. I don't need Odegaard. They have Smith. Sarcasm. What? Smith Rowe. No, we actually don't need Odegaard. We just need bodies that can play that position. And Odegaard can back up Smith Rowe. But Maddison, what Maddison does is he offers us a different element. He offers us a goal scorer, offers us a threat in the box from set pieces. He offers us more than Martin Odegaard. Anybody who thinks James Maddison's not worth the money, he's worth the money in gold because he's Premier League proven. He's done it consistently in the Premier League, and he can score. We need more people who can finish and score goals. We need goals from midfield. He offers that. Anyways, AK, what are you saying?
Look, I agree with everything Jonathan just said there. And what I'll add to that is, look, I've been saying it on Spaces or on previous streams as well, where why are we not identifying players who are the best players for their team? Yeah. Now, look, I don't expect us to go and get the best player at Real Madrid right now. I don't expect us to go and get the best player at Barcelona or PSG or Bayern Munich or City or Chelsea. Yeah. I don't expect us, and this is the car analogy that I've been given as well, bro, in these spaces. Yeah. I don't expect us to go and get hypercars, supercars, Bugattis, Ferrari 458s, Lamborghini Hurricanes, yeah? But don't tell me we cannot afford BMW, AMG, Audi, sport spec saloon cars. Are you telling me we can't get M5s out here? Are you telling me we can't get E-Class or C-Class AMGs out here? We can't get RS4s out here? Look, it's and what Jonathan just said, in Real Madrid's midfield, they're all a bunch of old age pensioners. So if this guy is not getting guarantees in order to be a main starter or a regular feature for Real Madrid next season, why are we out there entertaining this link? Bro, I don't want scrubs or players who are surplus to requirements from these teams. I don't want it. I want the best players, yeah? And like I said, we don't have to go for these big clubs' best players. We're obviously not in that position, or clearly we don't have that pool, because the main reason why is because we're not in Europe, yeah? But don't tell me we can't go and get someone like BISSOUMA from Brighton. Don't tell me we can't go and get any other players who from, I don't know, mid-table teams who are balling out for their teams that we can't attract. Bro, this guy doesn't have the minerals. He doesn't. He's weak like Ozil. Ozil was weak. He is weak. He is not a fighter. He's not a warrior. He's not a leader. I don't care if this guy's captain material for his home nation. So was Granit Xhaka. We all saw how that worked out for the past 5 years when he was a captain at Arsenal. Move on from it, man. 35. And another thing, in the financial state that Real Madrid and Barcelona are, I don't want us to buy a single player from them clubs. They can all burn down to the ground. Real Madrid can go and fuck off. Barcelona can go and fuck off. I don't want any players anywhere from them, and it's the same from Chelsea and Man City. I don't want us to indirectly fund their top summer signings. Let's stop wasting our time and go and identify other players out there that we can bring in. Let's just go and focus on that and forget about these lot, man.
I respect to my guy who brought out the super chat. Geza, aka Forever Misunderstood. He's like, Iga, are you worried about United this season? You know what? Respect to United getting some good transfers done with Jadon Sancho and Varane. Am I worried? I'm not worried, because you guys still got a situation where you need to get a DM in, and we still need to see if Pogba is sold or not. If Pogba is sold, it's one step back, two steps forward, in my opinion. So we'll have to wait and see how you guys finish your window. But for now, it's looking good for United. It's really looking good for you guys. For me, it's title challenge or bust for Manchester United fans. I don't know why these guys are always underplaying their team. Their team's really good. But yeah, respect to you for the super chat. I'm out of here, guys. We're done for the day. Big up to Gunner Express. Big up to Aslan. Go check out Aslan on Twitter at @AslanAFC. Go check out Gunner Express on YouTube and on Twitter at the Gunner Express on YouTube and at Gunner Express _. And then you got Jonathan here also. Big up Jonathan. And I'm out, people. Smash that like button. How is the stream not over 100 likes already? We're only at 90 likes. 10 of you guys like the video right now. We're going to get past that 100 like mark. But yeah, we're out of here, people. Have yourselves a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really think this season is going to be a very interesting season for every single team. And as much as we're ranting and raving before the even season begins, oh man, just wait until the season begins. It's going to be terrible at times. But you know what? Hopefully we can figure it out, because I'm still a little bit optimistic. And the funniest comment of the day has to go to AFC. You know what he said, Aslan? The man said something like, he said the funniest comment. He said something like, Aslan's gonna kill he's gonna kill the media people or something like that. I don't know what it was, but it was hilarious. But yeah, I'm out of here, people. Big up to all the people in the chat. Appreciate you guys. We're out of here. Peace.